I'm muted. I was muted the whole time. This is like the 4th time that's happened. Wow. I just suck at this. Okay. So, apologies to the person who was watching me mouth off to nothingness, but I'm sick, so I won't be talking today. Not much, at least. But, oh wow, we have 5 viewers all of a sudden. What the heck? Okay. Or not 5? I don't know what's happening here. But, maybe we just have people who don't have accounts. But, to the people who are here, thank you for coming. We're going to start in like 2 minutes, but I'm going to not talk because I'm sick. Somebody DM'd me asking if I was supposed to be muted. I was not supposed to be muted on stream. I'm so God, I shouldn't talk this much, but I'm not supposed to be muted on stream because I'm supposed to talk on stream. But I was muted because I don't even know what happened there. I just did not unmute for some reason. But okay, we'll start in about 2 minutes for everybody who's waiting. Apologies for the wait. You just want to make sure that we don't have any stragglers who come in late and miss the intro, which is slightly important because it kind of dictates what's going to happen today's stream. Okay, we'll start in 1 more minute. I don't know if Streamlabs is not registering the other people or if they just don't have an account. But if you guys can chat, tell me how's your day been? Also, break's coming up, so hope you guys are excited for that. What you guys doing? Sucks not being able to talk. I've probably spoken like, I don't know, total of like 5 minutes over the past like 5 days. Being 6 sucks. Okay, I don't know. God, this is gonna be a struggle. But I don't know how many people are here. But 6:35, so we're gonna start stream. So for the purposes of David, who's not here, but who's gonna be taking meeting minutes later, I call this meeting to order at 6:35 p.m. on Friday, November 18th, the day before Thanksgiving break. So to everybody who's here, welcome. I am Dillon Muted. As you probably know, I'm the president of this club, and I am sick, which kind of sucks because I'm supposed to be talking for like a decent amount of this interview. So what we're doing instead today is I have somebody subbing in for me. You guys were there for the stream with Jan. It's gonna be basically that. Somebody else is gonna be asking the questions. I'll still be here. I'll still be here to like respond to stuff, but I cannot talk too much. Right now, I'm not sure if I'm very audible because I'm talking with my throat voice instead of my chest voice. Not talking very loud. But yeah, so if you guys know who Khoi is going to be the one who's covering for today. Emma is still going to be here, obviously, because she's the one. That's the whole point of the stream. But Khoi is going to be the one who's asking the questions, filling the same role that Justin did last time with Jan. So to anybody who's new, we have something called a VOD, which is basically a recording of this entire stream. So if you have to miss the stream or miss any part, if you have to leave early, if your friends come in late, if you guys miss any part of the stream, there will be a recording posted to our YouTube channel that you can find in our Linktree and our Instagram. I can also send this in chat. That should be a link to our, oh, that's not right. I need to put HTTPS. Oops. But it's that should lead you to our Linktree. And that's where all of our links are. You guys can just scroll down a little bit, you'll find our VODs channel. And probably by this Monday-ish, the VOD will be posted. And by the week after, there will be timestamps. You guys can skip around to the spots that you want to see. So that's about the VOD. Just other general stuff. If you guys don't know already, we have this thing called a stream forum, which is basically where you can ask questions. So if you can't get to the stream, or if you have more of a long form question, you can just send it to this Google form. That's also going to be on Linktree. We also have merch. You guys can order that. We're coming up with that's a secret project. We'll talk about that later. But merch is a thing. You guys can order that through our Linktree as well. And finally, just as how Emma is going to be, we're interviewing Emma today. She's on the stream today. You guys can also do that as well. So all you have to do is you go into the Linktree, put in your name, put in, like basically just put in whatever topics you're willing to talk about. And as long as it can provide any sort of value, even entertainment purposes, to our viewers, you guys can probably just come on and honestly, like, those are the streams that are fun. It's not fun to listen to me monologue for like 5 hours. It's a lot more fun when there's people in this chat interaction, there's people who know the other person, and that's what makes the streams fun. And yeah, hopefully, if you guys don't already know, we're going to be talking about community colleges today, and hopefully by the end of today's stream, you guys will have an idea of why go to community college, what are the benefits, why should you ever go to community college over, so let's say, like a 4-year university. And there are certainly situations where it's a lot more advantageous to go to a community college, and today, hopefully by the end of today's stream, you'll have an idea of what those reasons are. But other than that, that adjourns the official meeting at 6:38 p.m. And now we're going to get into the actual stream. I don't know how many people are here, but we're just going to start it up, and hopefully people will start to trickle in. Is it this one? Oh, that's not the right. I did not set that up right. But okay, to the people who are in the call, you guys are on the screen, on stream now. So, this is Emma, and Khoi, you'll introduce yourself after Emma. So Emma, you can go first. Hold up, let me make sure you guys are not muted like I muted myself before. Okay, can you speak, Emma, to make sure? Emma? Oh, I'm muted. Oh, shoot. This awkward. Emma, can you talk?
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, can you introduce yourself, and then Khoi, you'll be introducing yourself after, and then we'll get straight into the stream.
All right. Hi, y'all. My name is Emma. I'm a senior at Marina. Some activities do I do? I'm in Marina Academic Decathlon. I'm also in Keynes, and I'm here to talk about community colleges with you guys today during the stream.
Hi, my name is Khoi. I'm a senior at Marina, and I'm here to co-host with Emma huynh.
And Khoi does not have a webcam, which is why it's kind of we don't
Yeah.
have a camera, so it's a little bit awkward. Hopefully, it's not too much of a bother for you guys, but yeah, so we make do with what we can. Thank you to both of them for coming on today, and you guys can start it up.
Oh, that's my cue. Sorry. Okay. So, for general college in general, is admission hard?
Okay. So for admission, so if you don't know a difference, community colleges are 2 years. You can get your associate's degree there, and at universities, they're 4 years. You get your bachelor degree or master's or PhD, or even do postdoctoral work. So admissions, they vary differently. So with community colleges, all you need to do is just put in information, and as long as you have a high school diploma or GED, then you're admitted. You're a student. It's a lot easier to get in. Whereas universities, I'm sure you've all heard about like the process and all of us stressing. So basically, universities are selective. So they base their admission decision off of your academic profile and your extracurriculars, the activities you do outside. So they'll consider your GPA, the classes you take, what you did outside of school, like clubs and any leadership opportunities. And they also may ask for an essay, where they just want to see, they want to get to know you more outside of school. And most of the time, all of these factors combined will determine if they accept you or not.
All right, thank you, Emma. So when going to college, is getting a part-time or full-time job better?
So there's two types of students who attend college. There's the full-time. It's what you hear most of the time. They're probably dorming, living at the university, if not. And part-time people, they don't take as many classes as full-time students. So, maybe a full-time would probably take like 4 or 5 classes during a semester, whereas a part-time might take 2. And being part-time, people would often do that because they're working or they have like other circumstances that prevents them from doing as much schooling as they'd want to at that time. And I'd say part-time is a good option if you need work and money. Like, probably parents, like mothers, they would probably be part-time just because they have to take care of their child. Yeah, full-time students is often for high school students like us, and it just being able to focus on your education for that time, it helps. So, yeah, sometimes part-time when you're a part-time student, it might take a little longer to earn your degree just because you're not taking as many classes. But the university will still like have a program and like try to help make sure that you're on track and you don't fall behind. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was really informational. So, while in high school, or sorry, while in college, what are like clubs and extracurriculars and social life like?
Yeah. So most often you'll hear about like fraternities and sororities. That's one of the big things about social life. You'll find them at universities where everyone in that frat or sorority, they'll live together. They do a lot of activities together, and it's a university though. But community college, the big thing about it is that most students are commuters. So what that means is that they don't live on campus. You know how like
Yeah.
you know what do you call it? We're commuter students technically, just because we don't actually live at Marina High School. Um, so because of that, a lot of the social life at community colleges is kind of lacking. So you won't see people like walking around at like 6 at night, and it's just kind of hard. It's kind of hard to just get to talk to people on campus when no one's there. um, so yeah, generally, if you want a more social life, then you should probably go to university.
Mhm.
Also, universities it's a lot more helpful when you're trying to network just making connections, getting to know other people, and like in the future you can they'll probably be there as like a reference or something if you're trying to get a job. So at universities, since you're around college students pretty much 24/7, it's a really good opportunity to network. Whereas community colleges, again, it's kind of hard to get to know people unless like you kind of force your way through it.
Yeah.
Um, so both have a lot of clubs and activities as well. They have lots of clubs for different interests, like at Golden West there's like an anime club and like all that stuff, teachers club. Yeah, and there's just like a lot of things. Your mind can like wander a lot, and there'll probably be a club for that. So yeah. Um. So
Uh, yeah. Continue.
So also, at Marina, a lot of the clubs here are like meant so you can get volunteer hours, and at both universities and community colleges, there's also programs where you can get volunteer hours, help your community out, and stuff like that. And yeah. Uh, Also, there's student government, which is ASB,
Yeah.
and you can get involved with that. Also, honors societies. So if you have a really good GPA, you're just looking to get more of your education, looking to take higher level classes, then you can apply for these, and yeah, you can get a lot of awards from them.
For introverted students during high school, like what are some ways to build a social network? So then like moving forward into college, they're not keen to like starting off slow into building a social network.
Yeah. I would say the first thing is to probably talk to the people in your classes. So when you go to college, you're gonna go to a bunch of lectures, and a lot of time it's really easy to just go there, sit through the lecture, not do anything, and then get out. But that's one of the places where you can talk to a lot of people. Like maybe you can ask like some of the students, your peers there, if like you want to study for that class, create a study group, or just anything else. They might come up to you randomly. Like I was walking on at Golden West around, and then like these like two random girls just came up to me out of nowhere, and they just like randomly just started talking to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, it was it was a little scary, but
Yeah.
definitely helps when there's people like that. I'm sure there's bound to be people like that. Also, there's at both universities, edu colleges, there's their version of a club rush.
Ooh.
So you can see, yeah, you can usually just see all the clubs there advertising, and you can get out of your comfort zone. So they probably offer like free stuff, free goodies, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's nice when there's like that whole big setting, everyone's like super excited. So that's definitely a good opportunity. Also, okay, so going back to our lecture situation in classes, you don't have to talk to just students. You can also talk to the professor, you know. If you need help, there's they usually offer these things called office hours. It's just like time outside of the lecture if you need help. And if you like build a relationship with like a few of your favorite professors, they can be there to like help you write letters of recommendations and stuff like that. I mean, don't be friends with them just to get that. You know, be genuine. But
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, that's that's a very big advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. So for the Coast Community College School District, what is campus like there?
All right. So the CCCD, or the Coastline Community College District, it comprises of three schools. So one of them I talk about a lot is Golden West College, and the other two are Orange Coast, which is next to the Orange County Fairgrounds, and then Coastline Community College. So the campus, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the campus there is like pretty musty. If you like go to other community colleges like around the United States, or just like here, it's just like some of the stuff can look a little outdated, but they're doing a lot of construction right now. Like yeah, so let's see. I know OCC is going through did a lot of construction, and their buildings look really nice. Like God, you wouldn't think it's a community college. Like just you just have to go there, honestly. And I'm gonna ramble about OCC because they have like a lot of stuff. So they have a planetarium. Basically, if you ever been to like Griffith Observatory, it's like the screen is like a big dome, and you can watch show. They hold shows there, and yeah, it's super cool. They also have an aquarium there. Like technically it's the building for like marine biology classes, but they have a bunch of fish tanks like littered around in there, and it's just like the atmosphere is super nice. um and a really big thing that they have there is the waterfront campus. So it's not actually at the main campus. It's I think it's in Newport Beach, if
Mm.
I'm correct. It's somewhere, and that's where they have their Mariners program.
Yeah.
Become like sailing ships and
Mm.
stuff like that. So they have a whole campus dedicated to that. Like they don't rent anything out. Like yeah, it's super cool. They have their own boats and all of that, and yeah. So yeah, if you ever have the chance to go, like if you ever have the chance to go see any of these campuses, I would highly encourage it. Just because I think also a really big thing with deciding which college you want to go to is the atmosphere or the environment of where you're gonna learn. If you go to if you go to UCI and then like you just feel really out of place and you just don't like how you have to walk far for everything or stuff like that, then probably shouldn't go there. You probably don't want to live there for the next 4 years. But yeah, so that's the tip. Just consider the environment. And then lastly, so I'm gonna go back to talking about campuses. So Coastline Community College, they're kind of special because they have 3 campuses, and I think the point of like Coastline, why it was created, was just so that it kind of it had like a far reach or covered like a wider geographic area. So they have campuses in Garden Grove, Westminster, and Newport Beach. So they offer different classes at each campus, but yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I've never really heard of something like that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That was really interesting. Okay. So what are like living options and dorms for OCC?
All right. So it's weird because normally you don't see dorms at community colleges.
Mhm.
Yeah, so pretty much every college, university out there has housing options, dorms, and where you live there and study and all that. And then, like I was talking about earlier, most community colleges, their students are commuters, so they're rarely on campus for like, I don't know, 5-6 hours, as long as we're on campus. Just as long as we're on campus, yeah. Um, anyways, so OCC just built some new dorms, apartment buildings, and I would say the main reason why is just because uh, they have the money, right? And also like sometimes I've kind of heard of situations where their parents, some parents are forcing their children to just uh, leave, not they have to move out 18. So I think having those dorms there, it makes the process of finding a place to live easier, and also I think they're like affordable for people. So yeah, if you just don't really have any other options, you can go dorm at the college. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So what are like the pros and cons for a 4-year community college?
For your community college? Me 2 years.
Uh, no, 4 years or 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. For dorm or just in general?
No, just in general, pros and cons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
I think you mean
for
4-year
you,
public university versus a 2-year community college. There's no 4-year community unless you take all the time. So
yeah. Oh, sorry.
you can go. Sorry.
Yeah. I'd say that obviously the degrees they offer. So at community college, they only offer 2-year degrees, whereas universities they offer a minimum like a bachelor's. So I think a lot of jobs out there ask for a bachelor's, and you can only get that there. Also, at universities, it's like a lot more immersive because like you're literally living there. So you get presented a lot of opportunities and do a lot of stuff there. So if you want to live that college life, go to 4 years. If you want to get away from your parents, go to 4 year.
Yeah. So like basically like community colleges, they provide like well, it's really cost beneficial, one, for going to it.
Yeah.
And also it's like kind of the same, I guess, well, not as much as of a social life, but like for an academic life, like clubs and activities, and like extracurriculars and like classes, they're somewhat the same as, I would say, like UC's.
Yeah. I would say so. Community colleges were kind of, I feel like they were created in the first place to just make it more, make college or education outside of high school like more accessible to everyone.
I say so.
So they might not offer as much stuff, but like I think for what it's worth is definitely worth it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be accommodating to everyone. So we talked about part time. So it's a lot easier to be a part time student at community college just because they don't pressure you as much to like get it done in this amount of years. Or yeah, so very flexible.
I thank you. That was on our topic of general college and community colleges versus universities. So now we're going to be talking about college classes and starting off with what are they like and what are their, like the professors and the classes in general.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched. There's a TV show called Community, and it's just like supposed to be like a sitcom, but or not a sitcom. It's just really funny. It's supposed to highlight like college life, basically. Um, so at universities, you're gonna find people. You're gonna find a lot of people like you. So they're probably just got out of high school. You know, you're trying to navigate their way around the university life. Well, at community colleges, you're gonna find a wider or more diverse range of people. So you might have like, you might have like in your class, you have like a mother who has like two children, or you're gonna find like an old dude, or you're gonna find a veteran who's getting his or getting their education because of the GI Bill. If you
Mhm.
guys know that, right? Or you're gonna find people like you, and yeah, I think it's really cool to see that. Also, I've seen like international students in my classes,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, so it's just when you kind of see, you see all those people, it kind of humbles you and just like remember, they're there for their purpose. You're there for your purpose. Everyone just wants to get their education. Um. Oh, also, classes are really small. Like the lectures are like small compared to university. So, uh, and in community colleges, they're usually the max I've seen is like 60 students. That sounds like a lot, but compared to universities, like sometimes they can have like an upwards of 200, 300 students. So, at community or at universities, you're kind of just a number. Whereas at in community college, uh, I think it feels a lot more immersive, and you can interact with a lot more people and like the professor. They're probably gonna get to know you better at a community college. And speaking of professors, they just because they're at a community college doesn't mean that they didn't qualify to teach at a university. Because most of the time, like community college professors, they're probably teaching at a CC part time, and they could be also teaching like a class at a university. So um I think community college professors, I think they're kind of a lot better. I feel like they're a lot better just because they're there to teach, and they're there to for your education. They want to help you. Whereas like universities, they're kind of just there to do the research. So they might not focus as much as or they might not focus as much as helping you succeed. They kind of just want their money, but
Yeah.
um yeah. Anyways, yeah, just don't expect any of your professors to baby you, but if you kind of want more of that attention and like more like accommodation, then community college professors are usually better at that. That doesn't mean there aren't any bad community college professors. Just go to rate my professor, and yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah. Okay. So, could you explain to me, what are general education requirements for college, and how much of a difference is it to do it at a community college or at a four-year university?
Yeah. So general education requirements, they usually have this at like any college you go to, and it's a set of requirements where you have to take specific types of courses or courses in that subject area to graduate. Usually it's part of the graduation requirements, and you take kind of like the A through G requirements for like freshman admissions, in high school, where you have like history, English, math, science. You have to take all those classes, in high school. That also applies to um, college as well. So I think, just to make sure that you're a well-rounded student, and you just have some humanity in there, because sometimes I would say, like, if you're like a STEM major, sometimes you just get really sucked into any projects you're doing. You just kind of forget that you have to exist as a human. But yeah, that's why they want you to do general education. So usually you would have to take like one or two courses in each subject area, and this applies to most colleges. What exactly they want you to take depends on each college. Like, for UCs and CSU, or University of California and California State University, they have requirements. They have general education requirements that apply to all schools in that system, and sometimes they have requirements that are specific to each campus. So yeah.
Thank you on that part. So getting what are some degrees or programs that you can get at Golden West College, OCC, or Coastline?
So at the CCCD, the schools, they offer degrees and certificates. So degrees, you already know, it's like usually what you go to community college for. Um, and but on the other hand, certificates, they're usually less courses that you need to take, and I would say they're it might look like they just exist there, but they're actually really helpful. Like, you can get certified in like specific areas, like network system, or sorry, that's a really bad example. Anyways, they're usually associated with jobs and like career paths. So if you have those on your resume, it can look really good because it shows that you're specialized in a very specific area. Sometimes with degrees, it's nice to have them, but if you don't do anything about it, if you're just taking classes, you kind of miss out on the real world experience, unless the program offers it. But yeah, yeah, so it's definitely good to take certificates, or at least get them. So in terms of degrees, obviously they're all associate's degrees that can be completed in 2 years. They have like the general ones I've heard of, like biology, history, economics, chemistry, English, all that. It all depends. What degrees are offered depends on the campus. And so some specific programs that I think are really unique for a community college. So one of them is nursing. Normally, like, you would hear about like people going to UCLA for nursing and stuff like that, or specific like medical schools or that. But at Golden West College, they have a nursing program. I think it's to like help you transfer, but the fact that they have it is like really cool. It's like very uncommon to have such kind of like intense not intense, but like it's kind of higher up on the end. You know, you got like how I say like Confucius, all that. It normally it's really hard to get into, but the fact that you have it there. Anyways, they also at OCC. So switching to OCC, they have this thing called the Allied Health Program, and so these programs they're not like I'm gonna you go there and then become a doctor, right? You'd have to go to medical school for that, but at OCC's allied health professions are kind of the people other than like nurses or like nurses and doctors. So you like emergency medical responder, yeah, EMR. They most of the programs that I've seen offered there, they have the jobs offered. Sorry, this is really hard to word. You guys ever heard of polysomnography? It's basically like is it, sorry. Anyways, so if maybe okay, so like what if you get an X-ray, right? That the person who's taking an X-ray, they're probably in the allied health profession. Yeah, sorry, I'm really bad at explaining this.
You're good. You're
Anyway,
good.
yeah, so you can find what do you call it? You can get certifications for jobs in the healthcare industry at community college at OCC, which is really cool. And also there's a mariners program. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, you got sail boats, you learn all the shipmanship and all that stuff. At also at Coastline College, I think they're more focused on like careers in industry. So there's a paralegal program there, which like I found really cool. Like you know, you get to shadow lawyers and stuff. You get to work in work in law. There's also like supply chain management, which is like what the heck. Probably some of you probably don't even know what that is, but yeah, I just thought that was really cool.
Okay, so to add on to that, I've heard of like internships at college, and how does that work there at a community college?
Yeah, so at for basis of comparison, universities sometimes they have courses that is literally called like internship in whatever a lab, right? So it's like kind of readily available for you, and you kind of required to take it in order to graduate. In community colleges, internships are honestly harder to come across, just because if you're only getting like a 2 degree, like some businesses and stuff like that, where you want to get an internship at, they don't see that as worth it, which is kind of eh. But yeah, they're just kind of hard to come by, and it's just something you kind of have to hunt down on your own. Maybe you can probably ask professors and stuff and like the counselors over there, but yeah, it's just hard to come across experience. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So basically for college classes, uh, community college has like not a wide amount of classes, but enough for you to I guess get a touch of what college is. And then the professors, they're more caring because college professors they have the the I guess education to teach for universities, but some college professors choose to teach not only at UCs but also at community, and there's a lot of like a lot of programs, not just like besides degrees, but also programs and certificates that are available to all college students.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
So yeah, I guess the fact that community colleges offer all of this is like really
Yeah.
cool.
And the cost benefit of all of this is like compared to like UC's, what is it like I don't know, estimated to you, or like just in describe it.
Yeah. So usually when you hear about paying for university, bro, people like start stating like I have to pay $10,000 for the year, and it's just really daunting numbers. And most of the time you're gonna have to take out a loan in order to help pay for that. Community colleges, again, accessibility is key. So they make it's not like, or they make everything like it's super cheap. Like it's not cheap or everything's just bad quality, but like they're able to make the prices really affordable. So I would say like at a community college, it usually costs around like $1,000 a year to for all of the costs, like enrolling in like your classes, textbooks, transportation, and all that. And sometimes the college offers it for free, which we'll get into later. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So just moving on to the next topic of dual enrollment, and could you explain to me what exactly dual enrollment is?
Yeah. So dual enrollment, you probably heard about it with Golden West, and is basically high school students, or students grades 9 through 12. They're able to take college classes at their local community college. So right now, I'm taking an intro to psychology class at Golden West, and yeah, so when you do that, you get college credit as well as high school credit. So that's really cool, right? You're killing two birds with one stone. So with the college credit, you can, as long as it's transferable, then you can pretty much take it to any university that you go to. So my class, like I can use those credits. Say like if I go to UCI, I can apply that to my degree, and yeah, it'll count as college credits at UCI, even though I took it at Golden West.
Hmm, I see. So dual enrollment basically, you're able to take a college level course at
Mhm.
any college, and basically the credit you get there counts for both high school and whatever college you want to apply that credit into, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So for dual enrollment, why would you do it, and what are the benefits?
So obviously the biggest thing is that you get college credit, and I already explained that.
Mhm.
Another thing, it's like you get exposure to how a college class is like. So you have AP classes. You take AP classes, and they do give you college credit if you pass the exam. However, it's still being taught by high school teachers, so you might not get that same experience compared to dual enrollment, where you can fully understand like how exactly it works, what are the expectations. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I just like how to like manage yourself in that class, because most of the time, yeah, again, they're not gonna like be there 24/7 or stuff like that to like help you. So it also helps help you manage your independence. So you just need a lot of accountability for yourself, because if you don't pass or like get a failing grade, it is permanently on your college transcript. And yeah, to mention that you get your own separate transcript for college, for dual enrollment classes you get, for the college. So I have a college transcript from Golden West College. You can also see it in your high school transcript if the credits apply. But yeah, you probably don't want to like screw up and fail, because colleges are gonna see that and they're gonna be like, what the heck is going on? But if you have your reasons, um, but yeah, just be sometimes, sometimes high school students, I would recommend it if you have time. The biggest thing is time, right?
Yeah.
Because you're adding another class to your schedule, so it might be a lot of work. And yeah, so if you just really don't have the time, like, you don't need to pressure yourself to like take a dual enrollment class. I would still recommend it though.
So could you differentiate between dual enrollment, AP classes, and concurrent enrollment?
Yes. So I'll start with APs. We all know that. So it's advanced placement. Most of you guys are in it, and the way to get it's college level course, like usually introductory college level coursework taught at a high school. It's all standardized by the college board, and they determine if you, or most colleges determine if you get college credit based on your AP exam score that you take at the end of the year. So yeah, and then dual and the line. So now the line between dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment is like really fuzzy. I would just so how they differentiate between Golden West is that so dual enrollment students, there's classes that are offered on high school campuses. So like there's a sign language class, I think, is offered. It's probably offered somewhere at like Ocean View or Fountain Valley, stuff like that. So you can, if you need that, you can physically go in and take that class. Whereas concurrent enrollment, usually it's just online, or you can physically go to the college campus to take that class. Yeah, so honestly, it's kind of weird how they define, because if you're a concurrent enrollment student and like you're also a dual enrollment student, so like you're considered that to them. So yeah, I don't know what's up with them, but
Hmm.
but
But
I could like find on that. Yeah.
yeah, but both help you take college classes even though
Yeah.
you're in high school. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So in the chat, Justin
Mhm.
says, how would I sign up for US history with dual enrollment?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. So right now enrollment for the spring semester is open at all CCCD schools. So what the steps to actually dual enroll is that you have to apply for the college, and like I said earlier, it's really easy. You just submit info about yourself, and then if you exist, then you're good, right? If you have your college, if you have your high school, or you don't even need to have your high school diploma, because you can mark on there that you're a dual enrollment student, and they'll modify the application for that. And so once you get accepted, then you also have to fill out permission forms to say that, or you have to give them to like your counselor, uh, and that just like shows if they'll actually let you take it, because sometimes they see that sometimes some students might not be able to handle it. So yeah, usually they'll let you take it. Yeah, and then once you get that form submitted, oh, actually, it also needs to be signed by your parent. Yeah, just make sure. And then after that, then you can register for the class that you want. So in the case of US history, you have to go to the class schedule and like find the CRN, which is just a number to identify the class, and then you enroll. Yeah, that's like a general breakdown of how it works.
And also, when taking dual enrollment classes, I would say, if possible, take it with a friend because sometimes the classes online can be kind of hard to digest. So it'd be a lot easier if you could like I don't know, study or like work with another friend during,
Yeah,
I guess, the period you take the class. Yeah.
that definitely helps in like I think it, and like anything with school, like it
Mhm.
really helps to work in a group, but like
Yeah.
that friend there because sometimes if you're taking it by yourself, you just feel extra lonely because and when you're in classes at high school, you're surrounded by everyone. So even if you don't know them, like you're still talking to the teacher or like sometimes like people next to you, like or, talk to you sometimes. But when usually I take my dual enrollment classes online. So I don't actually see I don't see any of the faces of the other students, or I don't like usually see the professor's face. So it's kind of it gets a little lonely. So
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, because I took pre-calculus over the summer for dual enrollment, and I guess my situation was basically I never got to see the professor nor any of the other like my other classmates besides the fact that I took the class with a friend beforehand.
yeah,
So yeah.
that's nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Okay, so what about what is dual enrollment in high school and university? Like, what's the like differentiate? How do you differentiate it? Yeah.
So we've already talked about like dual enrollment in high school. You take college classes as a high school student, but universities also have I think they define as concurrent enrollment
Mhm.
or agreements. So basically, universities can have agreements with another university or local community colleges. So, for example, like the CSUs, you can take classes at other campuses as long as you're approved, and at universities, you can also take classes at your local community college as long as the credits they take at a local community college um, apply to the university, and apply towards your degree. So I would say the main benefit is that like you're not stuck in that one bubble
Mhm.
of the university. You can see other people and stuff like that. Or sometimes, you might take like one or two classes at the local community college just to get like general education classes out of the way because usually since okay so since since community colleges are only 2 years, at a university they have 4 years, and so pretty much the community college offers lower division classes, so classes you would take as a freshman and sophomore. And so yeah, basically you don't have to take those lower division classes that get like filled up really quickly because everyone has to take them, like freshman composition or like the first English class you take at university, like everyone has to take it. So
Mhm.
you don't you don't want your class to be filled so much, but if you take it at if you take it at okay. Sorry, that was my dad.
I'll get it.
He's weird. Anyways, if you're able to take it as at a local community college, you get like all those benefits I talk about. Like, you can probably talk to your professors more there. They're generally easier just
Mhm.
because you have more of that support at a local community college. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I like to talk about so transferring from community colleges to universities or even private schools. Like, what is that like?
Right. So for those of you who don't know, transferring is basically going to community college, taking a bunch of credits, and then you're able to transfer to a four-year college to finish your bachelor's degree. So you don't have to take all 4 years at the specific university. So basically, you at the community college, you have to take certain classes that the university would want you to take. So, but as we talked about earlier, like the general education requirements,
Yeah.
you have to take those courses. And once you have enough credits, then you can start thinking about transferring. So you would normally apply like how we're applying like through the common application or other platforms like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, you just
So,
need like usually what the universities look for is the credits that you or the classes that you take in, like, and your GPA.
yeah. So you just reapply the same way you're applying to college apps.
Mhm.
And yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, usually, and then sometimes the universities might have obviously they do have different requirements for transfers, but like they might have additional stuff that you might
Mhm.
need to do.
Yeah, so like privates, would you need like well, for high school, applying to a private, you would need a recommendation letter. But for colleges, like transferring from community to a private, would you need a recommendation letter at all or no?
So, pretty much any schools outside of the UC and CSU system, they vary different. They vary a lot in their admissions process. So, just as how they would vary in like the when you're applying from high school,
Mhm.
uh, they might ask for a letter of recommendation, an essay, or they might have different classes that they require in order for you to be able to transfer there. I can't tell you. I can't say there's like a universal like curriculum or requirements that you would need. It all depends on the college really, which is yeah.
All right, thank you. So what is IGETC or intersegmental general education transfer curriculum?
Yeah.
And what transferring to CS Cal State, as well as what is TAG, transfer admission guarantee path.
So we'll start off with the IGETC, the
Mhm.
intersegmental general education transfer curriculum. So it's a general education curriculum, and it includes all like the areas that we were talking about. So yeah,
Mhm.
so science, math, English, history, like social science, also arts. So you take all these classes. You have to take enough classes to meet a credit requirement. And I don't think I elaborated on this yet, but
Mhm.
college credits are, we have like credits at high school. If you ever notice, like if you looked at your transcript, they say, you get like 5 credits for this semester. So credits is like one credit is defined as like one lecture hour in a week. Like that's just like the very specific definition of a college credit. But basically what they do is that you have to take enough classes and accumulate enough credits in order to meet the required amount to graduate. So normally it would be 180 semester credits in order to graduate. And um, yeah, it just varies widely from between colleges because some of them go through by the semester system or the quarter system or like all that stuff. Kind of messy. Pretty much, you get credits, then enough, you graduate. Yeah. So yeah, with all of these, the IGETC, the Cal State University General Education path, you need to meet the required amount of credits in each area in order to get that certification that you completed the general education requirements that the university wants for you. So I think I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
what they are. So, all right, there you go. All right. Can you guys see?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Dillon, like, can the stream see?
I'll look really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Cool.
Yeah. So this is general education policy for the Cal States, and so as you can see, there's different areas. So for example, like the English, you need like 9 semester units, so that's around like 3 classes. So yeah, they have oral communication, written communication, critical thinking. There's science, or like this is science and math pretty much. And so you have to take each one of these, 12 semester units. So that's like 4 classes. You have arts and humanities. So you got art, like arts,
Yeah.
like visual
Performance art.
art,
Yeah.
performance art, right? And then you have humanities, which is very vague, but pretty much like a foreign language, philosophy, literature, all that. And then you have social sciences. 9 semester units is 3 classes pretty much. So that would be like history, world history, or stuff like that. I think like geography is part of that. And then lifelong learning support, lifelong learning and self-development. This is kind of vague, but like pretty much classes that like pertain to just life in general, not like contemplating life, but like skills you would need in life. So they probably have
Yeah.
like classes, culinary, I took one, becoming a successful college student, all that. And then ethnic studies, yeah, I think they just like recently what do you call it,
Implemented?
added this. And
Yeah.
so you're studying stuff like Asian Americans, or African Americans, and you're just pretty much studying different cultures, just to like make sure you have that broader, or like wider knowledge of like your society.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For all of this, is there a difference in, okay, because I know college, the amount of time you I guess the school year for college is different from high school. Is there a difference between community college and universities?
I would say no, because it varies from like each university and each college.
I
But generally, so we go by like the year. So at high school, you take one class for the entire year. Usually how it goes. But at colleges, you take a class for only a semester or a quarter. So kind of get half of the time or a quarter of the time to like go over all that material. But yeah, it's just more fast paced. So
Mhm.
like my English class would probably be condensed down into like one semester at a community college. And yeah, that's just how they do it. And it's so that you can meet the credit requirements to graduate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So why should you transfer?
Yes. So transferring, you get, or it's just a lot easier to take classes at community college, and honestly, I think it's easier to get a better grade there. So, yeah, taking those like general education classes at community college. You don't have to do it at a university where the professors are probably not going to care about you and all that.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, the biggest thing is that most people transfer because it saves them a lot of money, because you're only paying $1,000 each year at a community college, whereas at a university you probably have to pay like 10,000, 5,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
And so yeah, only having to pay for 2,000 for the first 2 years is like really beneficial. That's why most people transfer. Yeah. Times like people just kind of sometimes people get rejected from like the colleges that they want to go to. So what they do is that they go to community college, and uh weird thing is that like I think you have a higher admission rate of getting into the university if you transfer, because universities are required to accept or admit a certain number of transfer students, and generally you're like there's a lot less applicants to compare you against. Yeah, compared to like uh if you're applying as a freshman, out of high school, like UCLA, they had like 130,000 applicants last year. So I think out of those, like 20,000 like transfer students.
Hmm.
So your application
Yeah.
is you don't have to compete as much to get in. So yeah.
Quick quick question. So, um, like, how about like transferring to out of state colleges?
Yeah, so that can be tricky, but like usually each college has different requirements for out of state students, and usually you'd have to get like a higher GPA or take more classes. But the general thing is that all colleges want to know if you're prepared to go to that university, and they
I see.
obviously judge that in different ways. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not The admission process is not going to be the same. Like if I applied to like UCLA compared to like Harvard, because
Mhm.
UCLA is a public and Harvard is private, and they're very selective.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna go into financial costs of community colleges. So what do community colleges what do I guess the expenses look like?
Yeah, so the main cost that's going to come from attending community colleges is from your registering for your classes. So you pay per unit. So each unit
Mhm.
is $46. It's like, I think that's for all California community colleges. And so the main cost is going to come from enrolling in your classes, and there's also fees such as health fees, like student fees, transportation, your textbooks, any equipment you have to buy, like sometimes if you take a science class, they require you to do labs, and they'll probably have you pay for the lab equipment that you're going to need. So yeah, those fees generally apply to both community colleges and universities. At universities, they definitely offer a lot more stuff, and that's usually the reason why it's just costs more, just because probably have like at UCI there's like really big gym there, and they offer that. And yeah, obviously it's a bigger campus, so they have a lot more stuff there.
A lot more opportunities at
Mhm.
UCs compared to community colleges. Okay, so moving
But yeah,
on. Oh, ooh,
like
sorry.
universities just generally offer a lot more services.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And also comparing to like Cal States, out of states, publics, privates, and also trade schools and whatever other um type of educational.
So generally, like, you hear that private schools are a lot more expensive than attending a public school,
Mhm.
CCSU. Um, but it all depends on like your financial aid and like
Mhm.
how much you get. Yeah. I think yeah, because like UCs and CSUs, they get some of their funding from the government. That's
Mm.
why they're public. So
Yeah.
yeah, private generally all of their money comes from the tuition that students have to pay and like donors, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um. So, speaking of like financial aid, how would how would high school students, I guess, have an idea of where to start for financial aid?
I'd say you'd have to know how much your family makes, like your household income, and like uh yeah. So generally, if your family makes under like 60,000 a year, then you can qualify for a lot of um uh stuff like fee waivers and food stamps and all that. Um, definitely, again, it varies between colleges and how much they want to offer you in financial aid. You just have they usually have like calculators where you just like put in your family's income and then they like spit out a bunch of numbers on like where they'll give you money and all that. Uh, but most importantly, you're just gonna have to fill out the FAFSA, the free application. Yeah,
Mhm.
FAFSA is where you have pretty in the United States, in the US, it's where you generally apply for your financial aid. So you tell them all your info, and then they'll tell you how much the universities are willing to give you, and
Uh, I
like
continue.
so paying for some of that, you can also get scholarships. So yeah, definitely look
Yeah.
into this.
Mhm. Um, so for high school students, how important is it to like talk to your like guidance counselors or just like your counselors in general?
Um, I would say it's definitely important because should there so like at Marina we have our the college counselor, Mrs. Yu,
Mhm.
and we have our like normal like guidance counselor. So the guidance counselor, they'll tell you what classes you need to graduate from high school, and you can also talk to them about what like dual enrollment classes, for example, that you can take to like help you. Mrs. Yu is there to, or the college counselor is there to help you give letters of recommendation. She can tell you about how the application processes for um, colleges, and I think it is the SAT, but yeah, definitely very important that for those letters of recommendations, but just generally asking for advice. Like if you get lost, then you should go to her, like help you get you on
Mhm.
the right track.
Yeah, yeah. So also to add on, like what are okay, because asking your or Miss you about scholarships, but also where do you even find scholarships or like opportunities to apply for them?
Mm. That is definitely a hard one because uh, there's a lot of websites out there um, that have like little scholarships. So when I mean little, they're probably like 200, 300, or like $1,000. It sounds like a lot, but compared to how much you're gonna have to pay at universities, it's like it barely scratches its surface. You can find usually the bigger scholarships are offered annually, so there's a lot of scholarships open to like high school students or like high school seniors right now. Now is like definitely the prime time to apply. So like the Coca-Cola scholarship, that one, the deadlines of already passed, but that's one of the big ones. There's like a Burger King scholarship. I don't know. I could probably name all the fast food chains, and they probably have scholarship. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's also like scholarships for those specifically, or that are looking into specific fields, like for like literature, arts, or STEM, the STEM field. And there's also scholarships for if you belong to like a specific group, like if you're LGBTQ, or if you're of a specific ethnicity and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of scholarships out there. It's just it is kind of hard to find. You honestly, you just kind of type in scholarship on the internet, and yeah, you just have to go through them.
Yeah.
Honestly, also weirdly enough, like sometimes YouTube videos can like help if kind of lost on where to go.
Mhm.
Just definitely look in a lot of places. Yeah, and you're gonna have to apply to a lot of them if you ever want to win any of them.
Yeah. So what are common mistakes in trying to transfer to other schools?
Yeah, so definitely the biggest thing is not getting enough credits. So, not taking enough classes so that by the time you're supposed to transfer, after 2 years, like, you're short on them, or you didn't take the credits to fulfill the general education requirements. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. And also not taking the right classes, because sometimes you can take a bunch of random classes and it might not transfer to the university you want to go to,
Mhm.
or they just don't meet any of your requirements, like major requirements. They'll probably be elective credits, but they it's just if you like take random classes. Also, some like don't even give credit at all, which is weird. Usually they're for like technical they're like technical classes. Uh but yeah. Also, if you miss any of the deadlines, I don't so yeah, I think uh, you transfer students have like earlier deadlines than
High school.
freshmen.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So just like yeah, make sure you're keeping up to date. Like, when's the deadline to send in your application? Was a deadline to send in your transfer credits? And there's other might be other requirements. So you got to send all those in. Yeah, and yeah, also keeping up your grades. Like I feel like that's kind of a given because um colleges, they definitely look your GPA plays a big part in your application. Just like see how you do, because um also your college GPA differs from your high school GPA in that none of the classes are weighted. So you're not gonna get like a 4.5 in college. Like how you can get higher than a 4.0 if it's weighted. So usually like high GPAs in college are like 3.8, 3.7 and above. So above your grades, because it'll show the colleges how ready you are to actually transfer into a university setting and take those harder classes.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. So, basically transferring to like going to a 2-year community college and transferring to CSUs or like universities is like one, it saves you a bunch of money, correct? Am I right? Yeah.
Yes. Pretty
And then
much. Yeah, the biggest
Yeah.
pro
Yeah.
about
Biggest one, yeah.
transferring.
And then it's important to also keep up your GPA because like when you're transferring, colleges are gonna look at that, correct? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So for what are financial costs of community colleges and how do they compare to universities and Cal States?
Yeah. I have another something else to share my screen for us. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull this up again. Yeah. So I have this graphic here that compares the cost of going to community college, going to, or specifically going to Golden West, going to Cal State Long Beach, and UCI. So, oh, sorry. The three so I kind of chose three categories that usually take up the most tuition or take up the most in your cost. So one of them is tuition, which is the paying for your classes. so this is a cost for like a full academic year.
Yeah.
At Golden West is usually just 1,000. At CSULB is 2,000 or 3,000 pretty much, and at UCI it like goes up to like 12,000, which is kind of crazy, but that's just how it is, honestly. There's also student health fee, which covers your health services, like if you get injured or you need like any therapy or just anything of that sort. This is what the health fee costs. At other colleges, they might call it like insurance, pretty much for your health, right? So, it definitely goes up a lot at UCI again. Like crazy. Like
Yeah.
I guess that's just $46, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and then and then it like triples, and then it just goes to like 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last category is like mandatory campus fees. So just basically to pay for all the activities that like happen there. So sometimes you can go to like ASB and yeah, just to pay for like facilities as well.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this definitely again 2,000 like $2,600.
Yeah. The jump from 44 to 2.6. Yeah, that's kind of a little big jump, a little
A
bit.
little, but I mean, yes, it just has to do with like the name, like it's UCI.
Yeah,
So
it's a university compared to a community. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
a lot more
They just
opportunities are given at university compared to community. Yeah. Cool.
sorry. Just
All good.
to offer a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
okay. So, hold on. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. So, what is the California College Promise Grant?
Yes. So this is where community colleges in California get like the ultimate advantage. So basically, this grant covers the cost of paying for your classes, the tuition cost. So you know how I said earlier, like each credit or each one credit is $46. So through this grant, you don't have to pay that. So it what? Usually, like a full time student takes 12 credits. So math is bad. So that'll be like $500, and but the state waives that free, so you don't have to pay that. You don't even have to pay for that, which is really nice. As long as you're the requirement is that you have to be a full time student, and you have to demonstrate financial or not demonstrate financial need, but like it's just be a full time student. So attend community college for 2 years, and you'll be able to get that. At the CCCDs, there's also they also have promise programs where if you don't qualify, or if they don't qualify for that, which I don't think that should happen, but they also waive, in addition to waiving your tuition, they also pay for your textbooks, your transportation, like other fees and stuff, which is really nice. So summary, you can pretty much get college for free through your community college, which is a pretty sweet deal. Like not having, compared to like having to pay what 40,000 your first 2 years, and then at community college you don't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Like yeah, that's definitely a very big advantage. It's just community colleges are a lot more affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, and then comparing this to also like a university where you would pay like your first 2 years, like a crazy amount,
Yeah.
and then you could just transfer to a university for your last 2 years instead.
No, literally, like I'm gonna go off a little off,
Yeah,
but
dude.
bro, my mom, like my brother is at UCR right now, and like my mom, overheard my mom saying that like I just had to pay like 6,000 for his first quarter. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I gonna? Anyways, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, it's important to save money and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for community college, could you give me, I don't know, just a list of overall benefits?
Yes. So community colleges, they're convenient, they're flexible, they're meant to be accessible, um, and they're a lot cheaper financially, and they're local. So usually you would go to a local community college, and like might you don't you might not need to like pay for dorms, because sometimes universities require you to dorm your first year of college. So
Yeah.
if you don't want to pay for that, then yeah, you can go to community college. Yeah, just it's meant to appeal to a wider demographic, and
Yeah.
yeah,
It's open
just
to like anyone. Like you said
anyone.
at the beginning, it was like the age group could vary, and like I don't know, just anyone can go to community college.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Mhm.
Where does it?
Uh, is that all for that part?
I think there are
No, no, no,
costs.
no, no, I'm just like just for yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry. So could you explain to me just the stigma around community college?
Yeah. So I think it's definitely gotten a lot better. Over the years, people have been a lot more accepting, or not accepting, but like not seeing community college in a bad light. But normally people might see it as like this is where all the failures go. Like this is where people didn't get accepted into any other university, so now they have to go to community college, and it's not as elite. And sometimes it's all the high school graduates who just don't care, and they just go to community college just because like you know
Mhm. Yeah.
they have to feel like an obligation. And I'm here to say that is obviously not the case. Sometimes it can be out of people's control if they don't have the financial,
Financial
or they
resources.
don't have the means to pay for it financially,
Yeah.
even if they get offered like a lot of money from universities. Sometimes, yeah, going to community college is just definitely a lot more affordable. Also, since like usually you're going to a local community college, you're staying in your community still. So you don't have to move to a completely different place, and like
Yeah.
expose, or not expose, but like it gets a little hard to like adjust. Whereas at community college, I think you can get you have time to like like mature, or you start taking on like the adult responsibilities because now you're like 18,
Mhm.
and so you can definitely develop like responsibility and independence without having to move so far and make such a drastic change. And once you transfer, you're probably like ready to deal with a lot of things on your own in the real world.
Okay, so one more question is, how do you know if community college is like the right place for you?
Yeah. So obviously it just really depends on what your it depends on what your goals are. Sometimes people just go there to like take class and then transfer. They don't really care about um they don't really care about like socializing with other people. And that's fine. They can do that and I won't really judge them because that's one of the functions that it serves. But like also if you don't want to move that far, if you just don't want to move at all, you can probably go to community college. If you want to stay local, go to community college. Um, it's not as rigorous an environment, so if you need something like that where it's it's a little more laid back, obviously academics is going to be the focus, but you're kind of at university, you're kind of surrounded by it 24/7, and sometimes you might need that break,
Mhm.
which where you can go home and stuff like that. So yeah, um university is a good fit for people who obviously, again, as I said earlier, they want that college life. They're ready to like throw themselves into that whole new situation. And really, since they have more resources, students might want to take advantage of that more. There's more research opportunities, and internships, and just generally to network with other people. Yeah, so that's what university offers. Yeah, if you're ready, yeah, pretty much if you're ready to make a drastic change, you can go to university. Not, then it might be better to go to community college.
Yeah, because community is like more welcoming and like
Yeah.
it's like for a first-hand experience. Like if you're
Mhm.
still like shy from like just getting out of high school, like it could be a little overwhelming going straight to like a university where especially the campus is so huge, and there's just so many like people, and the classes as well as like you said earlier, like the classes like the lectures come up to like around 200 people, while community is like around 60ish, and like high school courses they contain usually like around 30 people, so like it's like a huge increase in like I guess the social network and everything, right?
Yeah, it might be. It just might feel a little intimidating to
Mm,
go to university because sometimes like these are like very prestigious professors. They've done like a lot of work in their field and now they're teaching, and like sometimes some students might want access to that, and that's cool.
mm,
Other times it's like if you want to be more laid back,
yeah.
and you can go to community college.
Right. I'll now hand off this to Dylan.
Okay, so thank you both to both of you for like actually carrying the stream so hard, especially since I
Mhm.
couldn't talk. So thank you so much,
Yeah,
Emma, for coming on and Khoi for covering.
Of course.
problem. Anytime.
God. Okay, yeah. So stream probably won't last much longer. Usually we have more of like a post-interview chat, but that's probably not gonna happen. So just to wrap things up, I'm gonna for the people in the call, I'm gonna switch to a different overlay so you guys will not be on screen anymore. So you guys can just mute so that
Right.
there's no extra stuff. Okay. Yeah, I can talk. Kind of. Kind of. Oh, Emma left. Oh, that's kind of awkward. Okay. So yeah. thank you to everybody who came. I know it was not the okay. I messed up. Thank you to everybody who came. I know this was not the most smooth of streams. Like, okay, Emma and Khoi did very well, even independent of the circumstances that we got of the circumstances. But it's like they did a great job. I'm sorry that I could not provide the streaming experience that we usually do. Same thing with last time. I'm not sure why. It's just we haven't had a stream in like 6-7 weeks, and I have not been sick for 6-7 weeks, and apparently now is the time to get sick. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm talking a little bit lower than usual, but yeah, I really want to keep going. Like, I really enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy that, like, the post, like, content streams, like, when there's, like, there's no script to follow, there's nothing to follow. We're kind of just talking, chat, kind of doing our thing. That's, like, probably my favorite part of streams, to be honest. To be honest, like, the actual stream itself, it's not that it's boring, but it's, like, the spontaneity of the after stream that is honestly just, like, the best part of streaming, especially the chat interactions, because they just, I don't know, chat usually is kind of dead during the actual content. It's like afterwards when you just chat, like literally just chat, like just doing stuff. It's kind of fun. But yeah, like I really want to keep talking. My voice is telling me not to, so we're good. We're good. So yeah, just to wrap things up. So once again, for the people who were not here to begin the stream or don't know, we are going to be having a VOD, which is the recording for the stream. This stream will be uploaded to our YouTube probably by Monday. You can find that in our Instagram bio, our Linktree. I'll send that in the chat right now, just for those who don't have Instagram or don't want to have Instagram on right now. That link should work. That'll take you to our Linktree. That's where you're gonna find our. You can find our YouTube channel. That's where our VODs are gonna be. You can also find our co-host forum. So if you want to co-host a stream like Emma just did, and it doesn't have to be about educational stuff. It doesn't have to be stuff like community colleges or academics or anything like that. Like, sure, last stream was like that. The stream before was like that. But like 3 streams ago, we had Emily come on talking about digital commission art, and 4 streams ago, we had Justin come on talking about digital art as a career. And you can literally talk about just about anything that follows Twitch TOS. So obviously, not inappropriate stuff. And ideally, you want to talk about stuff of value to the majority of people, because if you just talk about how you enjoyed your game of tennis yesterday, like, sure, I would probably enjoy that, I would probably follow along, but it's probably not very useful for everybody else, and I don't think people want to hear. Like, maybe they do, maybe I'm wrong, but I think more generally applicable, more generally entertaining even. It can be entertaining as long as, like, I want some, like, educational stuff, like something to learn. Ideally, it's not just entertainment, but we can have entertainment streams every once in a while. I'm probably, once I'm not sick anymore, I'm probably gonna make up the stream frequency, because honestly, once every 6 weeks is just not it. I just don't like how much time it takes on Fridays, but I'll try to make it more frequent than once every 6 weeks. I feel like I'm obligated to do that. But yeah, so in our Linktree, you can find our co-host forum, like Emma just co-hosted. You can also find our stream forum. Usually we would be answering stream forum questions right now, but first of all, the questions asked are very metaphysical. They're like, or philosophical. It's not metaphysical, but philosophical. And I don't think I have the vocal cords to do that right now. So we'll probably touch on those next stream. Hopefully that's probably like a week or 2, maybe 3 after break. That's when our next stream will probably be. It might just be a more general stream, depending on if we get any co-host applications. And also, just a reminder, we do have merch as well. And our merch can be found in our Linktree, which I have linked, and it's also our Instagram bio. But yeah, follow us on Twitch. We're supposed to have our giveaway at 50 followers, but I'll figure out the logistics of that after I'm not sick anymore. And for those of you who have Instagram, I know that Instagram can be a little bit of a mental health hazard. But if you are on Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram. That's where all of our updates are. That's the main base, main hub of operations. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. Any questions? Final questions? Preferably not complicated or long form questions or open-ended questions. My voice is dying out, and I'm getting increasingly monotone. I'll give you guys like 10 seconds for that. Should be inspirational. I appreciate it. I'm God. At your duty. At your service. Oh no, man. I'm gone. Long gone. Okay, yeah. I'm assuming there's no questions. Because my room is probably like a COVID hub. I'm realizing now I'm not covering my coughs at all. But it's not COVID. Or at least it wasn't COVID 4 days ago when I got sick. I don't think it's COVID. It's just my room. Okay, yeah. I'm assuming there's no questions. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I cannot express how much, like, cause like I'm not even talking for like the past hour and a half. You guys still came, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so much to everybody who did come. Know that I appreciate it. And thank you. I'm gonna get out now. Okay.
The theme's over, correct?